Very good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our history class. Today we will be discussing Chapter 4, Economic Development. So, dear students, come on, let us move further and discuss about our today's session, Economic Development. What exactly is an economic development? What we can learn through our economic development? How economic development has been developed? What is the importance of economic development? Today we will be discussing about our economic development. So come on, let's all watch what exactly is economic development. Economic development, which is usually shown to us through the economical structure of our country. We have, which includes a study of the mixed economy, 5-year plans and their success and failures, nationalization of banks, 20-point program, mill workers strike, and especially the new economic policy of 1991. So this is what we are going to study in India's economic policy in this chapter. So dear students, here we can see the brainstorming about the kind of economy we would adopt after independence, which started much before India got independence. Our Prime Minister Pandit Nehru adopted the middle path rather than taking recourse to any extremes. Some countries had adopted capitalism, while some had adopted socialism. Each type of economy had its own advantages. Now here, if we could discuss about our mixed economy. In India, we would adopt after independence started much before India got independence. So here our Indian economy had been started before independence itself. But once we achieved our independence, it was our Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru who had adopted a path towards the economical structure of our country. And many countries had adopted different types of economies, like few countries adopted capitalism like America, whereas some other countries also had adopted socialism like Russia. So there are many countries who had adopted different types of economies. Mixed economy means they are different types of economical structure. Okay, now here the capitalist system. Capitalism means the production, the production which are privately owned by a specific country. All the different industries, they produce their profit, and all that profit will be owned. Owned means it will be used by only that specific country, that specific government. And then in a socialism means it is a socialist economy, which means the productions are owned by the state in the name of the society. Now here capitalism means, say suppose for example, if I will invest 50 lakhs and I will start my own business or an industry, so whatever profit I will get, it is I who is going to take the profit. That is capitalism. Socialism means all the different people coming together, investing in one specific industry, and whatever profit will be there, even the government also involves in the profit. Even the government also takes the profit in the form of taxes. But in capitalism, there is no involvement of the government. So this is the difference between capitalist economy and mixed economy, socialist economy. So all these different types of economies coming together is called as mixed economy. Now, mixed economy also works both in private as well as in public sectors. Now, in order to achieve this economic development of modern India, we gave preference to a model of mixed economy. So, in order to achieve this economic development in India, we have given a name, we have given a preference to a model, a name called mixed economy. So there can be any type of economy in a particular, in a specific country. It can be a capitalist economy or it can also be a socialist economy. So here this is what is called as mixed economy. All the different countries coming together and working together unitedly is called as a mixed economy. So the countries, depending upon their own interest, they can have their own type of economy. Now we can see three parts in this kind of economy, like public, private and joint sectors. In public sector, we can see the industries in this sector are completely under the control and management of the government. Now, for example, the production of defense equipment. Whereas in private sector, we can see the industries in this sector are owned by private industrialists. Of course, the government supervises and controls them too. For example, consumer goods. So this is called as public and private sector. So in a capitalist system, we can see the means of production, as we have discussed just now, that is the production are privately owned by a specific person. Whereas in a socialist economy, we can see the means of production which is owned by the state in the name of the society. And a mixed economy works both in the private as well as in the public sector. So just now, as we have discussed, there can be this mixed economy can be worked in both the ways, private as well as public sectors. Now, in order to achieve economic development of modern India, so here in order to develop a modern India economically, to develop a modern India, we usually give preference to the model of mixed economy. Now we can see three parts in this kind of economy. So here this all together comes under the mixed economy. These are all together called as the model of mixed economy. So mixed economy can be considered as capitalist economy or as well as socialist economy. Now let's see what is a public sector. As I've told you, the three parts in this kind of economy are public, private and joint sectors. What is a public sector? The industries in this sector are completely under the control and management of the government. Okay, government has the complete control on public sector. The private sector. What is the private sector? The industries in this sector are owned by private industrialists. Of course, the government supervises and controls them too. For example, consumer goods. Now here in public and private sectors, in public sector, the industries are completely under the control and management of the government, whereas in private sector, the industries are owned by the private industrialist. That means the people who are investing their money in this business comes under private sector, whereas in public sector the industries can also be controlled under the help of the government. So this is called public sector. So in this way we have public sector and private sector. Now we also have the third kind of sector, that is the joint sector. Now apart from public and private sector, we also have a kind of economy called as a joint sector. Now in this joint sector, some industries are owned by private industrialists while some are run under government management. So this is called joint sector. Joint sector means in the word joint itself we can understand that it is joint in both the ways, in both the sectors, public as well as private. So here in joint sectors we have the industries which are owned by private as well as public industries together comes under joint sectors. So in this way we have learnt about these three kinds of economies, and these three kinds of economies are called as mixed economy. So here you can see the joint sector enterprises. Now here in this sector, industries are owned by private industrialists while same are run under government management also. So it is used in both the ways, in private as well as in government, under the help of government management. So in both the ways it is been joined. So that is called the joint sector of enterprises. So in this way we have learnt all the three different types of sectors. Now for mixed economy to run smoothly, there is a need for coordination between the private and the public sectors. Now the system aims at maximization of production and popular participation on a large scale. An effort has been made in this system to bring together the good aspects of both the capitalist and the socialist systems. A mixed economy cannot ignore the profit motive, entrepreneurship, discipline, time-bound planning, etc. A mixed economy also naturally tends to give priority to national interest. Long-term development is stressed upon its priority. The industries like defense, scientific research, education, roads, railways, waterways, seaport and airport development, but the returns in these areas are delayed. Not many private industrialists are keen to invest in these areas. In such a situation, the government has to take the initiative. So here if we discuss about our mixed economy. So mixed economy runs smoothly. But how it runs smoothly? It runs with a coordination with the help of both the private as well as public sectors. This system of production and popular participation on a large scale. So this system, the way it coordinates between both the private and public sectors, so this way of system maximizes the production and popular participation on a large scale. So there is an effort which has been made in this system to bring together all the good aspects of both the capitalist and the socialist systems. So here we can see both capitalist and socialist systems which comes together. And in this, a mixed economy cannot ignore the profit motive, entrepreneurship, discipline, time-bound planning. So here in this mixed economy, whether it is capitalist or socialist system, here we can see that this mixed economy follows all the different rules. Like it also should check how much profit it is getting. It should also see about the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means the owners of the company. It should also see the economies. Capitalist and socialist economies also should see whether there is discipline maintained within the business, within the industries or no. So everything, each and every law and rule is very important in this mixed economy. Now in this mixed economy, it also naturally tends to give priority to national interest. So here we should also see that long-term development is very important. So here now private industries will never take interest on the public industries. For example, if you talk about education, roads, railways, so all this will not be given priority by the private industries. Okay, so who's going to take the initiative over here? It is the public, that is the public industries. The government should take initiative to take care of all these industries like education, railways, roadways, waterways. All this will be taken care by the government because these are public industries. So this is how the mixed economy is running in India. So this is how we also consider mixed economy within our country. So mixed economy considers both the capitalist and the socialist systems. And here we also have to ignore, we cannot just ignore the profit motive in this mixed economy. The main most important target in mixed economy is the profit motive. Profit motive should be considered as the first priority in India with the help of mixed economy. So this is how we usually plan together in this mixed economy with the help of public, private and joint sectors. So dear students, I hope you all have understood very well what exactly is a mixed economy. We have capitalist and socialist, two different types of economies. and these two different types of economies work together, which is called as mixed economy. Under this mixed economy, we have three different sectors: public, private, and joint sectors, which we have discussed earlier. And these public, private, and joint sectors under mixed economy, they follow certain rules and certain regulations, certain norms in order to run the both public and private sectors. Usually, the public administrations, the public organizations are always taken care under the help of the government sector itself, whereas the private sectors, the private industries are always taken care by the private industrialist, that is the businessman who has invested money. He will take care of his own business. For example, if I have started a small grocery shop, so it is I, the industrialist, the businessman of that particular shop. So I will take care of my own shop, whether it is a profit or loss. I have to bear it. That is private sector. Now in case, for example, if you talk about the railways, where we usually transport from one place to the other place with the help of railways. So these all are the public sectors, and these public sectors are taken care by the government. The government takes the initiative to take care of these public sectors. So this is how we usually run our mixed economy within India. And this mixed economy within India had been started after independence, and the initiative, much of its initiative had also been started before independence. But once a Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, has been appointed as the Prime Minister, he adopted the middle path rather than taking recourse to any extremes. So, the countries have adopted the various kinds of economies. Now, thus in India adopted the mixed economy model and 5-year plans and started off on its path of development. The industrial policy of 1973 increased the speed of development. Priority was given in this policy to control the influence of heavy industries, industrial families and foreign industries, and remove the imbalance in regional development. The government focused on the development of small-scale industries and cottage industries. Government also started paying more attention to the cooperative sector. So, India finally adopted the mixed economy. So, our country have accepted our mixed economy, that is both public and private sectors, joint sector. And India also had started the 5-year plans, which has made a lot of development in the industrial sector in the year 1973. And most of the priority importance was given in this policy about to control the heavy industries, the industrial families, the foreign industries, and to remove the indifferences between the regional development. So much of the industrial development had been started in these 5-year plans. And not only this, the government also focused on developing the small scale industries. Small scale industries means we usually have a small scale industries in villages. In villages, the people make groups of around 10, 20, 25 members in one group, and they start their own business. Like for example, papad making. So there they form a group of 10 to 20 people. They start making their own papad business and they sell it in the market. So that is called small scale industries. So in this way, not only the very big industrialist heavy industries, but also the small scale industries was also being developed with the help of this 5-year plans. And government also started paying more attention to the cooperative sector. There is a cooperative sector where many people invest their money, or where many people come and buy their shares in the market. So all these cooperative sectors also been given more importance, more attention by our government. So this is how our India had adopted the mixed economy, considering both public and private sectors. Now let's move towards our 5-year plans. Now, as we have discussed earlier, that industrialization development had been started in the 5-year plans. So let's see what exactly are 5-year plans. The colonial power had exploited India economically. The country faced severe problems like poverty, unemployment, population growth, low standards of living, low productivity of agriculture and industries, and backwardness in the fields of knowledge, science and technology. Planning was essential to solve these problems. India established the Planning Commission in 1950 with Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru as its chairman. It formulated India's 5-year plans that included rural and agricultural development, balanced industrialization, provision for a minimum standard of living, and economic development consistent with democratic ideals. It focused on people's participation and individual development in the formulation and implementation of the 5-year plans. So here there has been a colonial power. Colonial power means the colonies has been established in India by the Britishers. Our country India was facing many problems. The problems like poverty means the poor people. There were many poor people. Unemployment means the people were not having any jobs. They were jobless. Population growth. Our India's population was going on increasing, but there was no development in India. Low standards of living. People were living without education, without salaries, very poor life they were living. Low productivity of agriculture and industries. So in agriculture also there was no production. The farmers were not able to cultivate their crops. They were going for loans with the zamindars. They were paying high interest rates. Farmers were just going to suicide, to kill themselves. All these were the backwardness of our Indians in the British rule. There were no good science and technology. So there was an essential need for the planning. So with the help of our Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru as a chairman in the year 1950, India had started a planning commission. There they started planning that we have to start a certain planning, what is needed in India, what we need to develop. All these plannings are very essential. So there they started the planning commission in the year 1950. So there they formulated India's 5-year plans. So there the 5-year plans had been started in India. And these plans were not only for the urban area people. These plans were also for both rural and agricultural development also, especially to balance the industries. Okay, the industries which are getting more and more profits, and the industries which were not at all earning any profit. So in order to balance these industries also, their main focus was to start the 5-year plans. And they also was to provide a minimum standard of living. So people have to at least fulfill their basic needs of food, clothing and shelter. So this is very important for them. So an economic development consistent with democratic ideals. So these all were the ideas. These were the points where India had been taken the step of this planning commission. And it also focused, 5-year plans also focused on people's participation and individual development in the formulation and implementation of the 5-year plans. So in these 5-year plans was not only for the government to participate, but this was also for the people, for all the people to participate in this 5-year plans. Each and every people's participation, individual development. So every person have to develop their own standard of living, and they also should develop their own industries. This was their main focus to develop the planning commission in India in the year 1950. Now let us see what are the fundamental principles of planning. A general principle of planning is the proportionate distribution of the resources of a country and the appropriate use of the human resources to fulfill the needs of the people. So what is the fundamental principle? Fundamental principle means what is the actual reason, what is the main role in order to start this 5-year plans. So the main role to start this 5-year plan is to distribute the resources throughout the country, and in order to use the human resources to fulfill the needs of the people. That means the main aspect of this 5-year plan is to satisfy the people's needs, to fulfill the needs of the people. That is the main aim behind this 5-year plans. Now what are the goals of plans? The general goals of the economic planning of India is to increase in the national income, to bring about an increase in industrialization by focusing on the basic industries. So here the goals of the economic planning is the national income of a country should increase. How our national income can increase? If our industrial production is very good in India, then only our national income of a country can increase. And we have to bring rapid industrialization by focusing on the basic industries. So the small scale industries also should be improved with the help of different machineries. We should also bring about an increase in agricultural production so that the country becomes self-sufficient in food grain production. So here we should also increase in agricultural production. Agricultural production also should increase so that no people will die with hunger. All the people should live, should get sufficient food to eat in our country. And the next goal, next plan is to use the human resource in the country optimally by making increasing employment opportunities available. So the next goal of this 5-year plan is all the people should get jobs. No person should be left jobless. This was the important goal in these 5-year plans. And then the next goal is to remove the inequality in earnings and wealth. So there should be no inequality between the rich and the poor. Why only the rich should be rich? What about poors? So poors also should be given chance, opportunity to earn, and they also should become rich. So this was the important focus towards the 5-year plan. Maintain stable prices of commodities. The prices should be stable, where the people can purchase each and every commodity. Commodity means the raw materials, where if you talk about groceries, clothes, where you talk about the crackers at the time of Diwali festival. So all these are the commodities, raw materials. So these raw materials should be sold with such prices that all the people should be able to buy, to purchase that. Means it should not be sold with high prices where only the rich can purchase. If only rich will purchase, if only rich will celebrate the festivals, then what about poors? So this kind of stable prices of commodities was also the main focus with the 5-year plans. And the next goal is to bring the growth in population under the control by family planning. So the main important goal for this 5-year plan is the population also should come under control. The more and more increase in the population, what happens? The commodities, the basic needs of our Indians also can demand. Means it can also increase. So definitely if it will increase, then people will starve with hunger. So this should also be reduced. And we also should improve the standards of living by eradication poverty. So here poverty should be eradicated, means it should be avoided. And we should also develop social services. Social services like transportation, railways. So all these social services should also be developed. We should make the economy self-sufficient. Finally, we should make our economical structure self-sufficient. Means we should see that each and every person is happy with our economical structure. So this kind of economy we should always believe, and we should always restructure our Indian economy. Our Indian economy should always be considered as a mixed economy where all the people can meet together, where all the Indians can come together, they can enjoy together, they can all face together, and they can all enjoy the various goals of these 5-year plans. So these were the main goals of the 5-year plans. So this was the reason why the 5-year plans have been started. The Planning Commission of India in the year 1950 by our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has been started these 5-year plans in order to improve the standard of living of all the Indians in our country. Now let us see. Now this was part 1, what we have discussed. Now let us discuss all the 5-year plans. We have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. All the 9 5-year plans we have. And we will discuss all these 9 5-year plans in part 2. Now what we have discussed is part 1. So I hope you all have understood in this lesson what exactly is an economy, what is a mixed economy, capitalist and socialist economy, what are the different sectors in mixed economy like public, private and joint sectors. We have also discussed how these mixed economy in India has been started and how still it has been running in our country. We have seen how the economical structure or how the 5-year plans had been started, who has started, why there was a need in order to start this 5-year plan. Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru had started this 5-year plans in the year 1950. But why? In order to bring growth and development among India, among the industrializations in India, so that all the people could live their happy and sufficient life, where all the people can be treated equally. So these were all the reasons why the Planning Commission of India has been started. So let us discuss about all the 9 5-year plans in part 2. So I hope you all have understood our today's topic. So dear students, thank you. Stay home and stay safe. Till then, take care of yourselves and let us all meet together in our next session with the same unit, lesson number 4, Economic Development, part 2. I hope you all have understood part 1. Thank you, dear students. Stay home and stay safe.